Hey friends, Racheal Cook here, business growth strategist for women entrepreneurs, and welcome to this week's episode of Uncomplicate Your Business, a weekly Facebook Live show and a podcast and a blog where I show up each and every week to share with you how you can keep things simple and strategic so you can really create success on your terms. So if you've been joining me for the last few episodes, you know that this is all about getting more clients. I have named this month, March 2018, the month that this is all going live, Get More Clients March, because this is something that I feel like so many of us get caught up in all the tips and tricks and tactics, all these little things like you can grow your business by starting a Facebook group, or you can grow your business by being on Instagram. And these are nice ideas in the overall big picture of a business growth strategy. But when it comes down to it, if you need clients, you need revenue, you need cash flow coming in the doors very quickly, those are not the fastest way to go about it. In fact, they might actually be distracting you from taking the actions that will get you that client in the door very, very quickly. So if you have missed out on any of these episodes this month, I went ahead and popped the links for the first two episodes in the comments here on Facebook. And if you are listening into the podcast, you can head over to my website, rachealcook.com, and get all of the other episodes so that you can catch up on this series. My goal for this series is to help you really get some things you can put into action very, very quickly. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we are in the third installment, and this is where things are going to get really, really practical. We're going to talk about how you can get those clients stat, the exact steps that you need to be taking. So these are all about super, super practical, to the point steps that you can start taking today, this week, the next 2 weeks, and start filling that client docket. And in fact, this is based on a process that I have used for years. For years in my business, I've had private clients. And the best part about having this type of process in my business is anytime I need a revenue boost, or anytime I need to fill my client docket, or anytime something happens and I need something that I know will work very, very quickly, I come back to this strategy again and again and again. So this strategy really started when I was coming off maternity leave. So some of you might know I'm a mom entrepreneur, and I ended up getting pregnant with my twins really, really quickly after I had started my business. So I was pretty new in my business, just a couple years in, coming off maternity leave from having twins, and I needed revenue that month. I needed cash flow that month. I didn't have 6 months to build up an audience. I didn't have a lot of time to do list building. I didn't have a lot of time to do all of the typical things we hear. And back then, this was 2010, 2011, we didn't have Facebook Lives. But still, I would say this is still my go-to strategy, because it's not about building an audience. It's not about having a perfect website. In fact, I know people who have used these strategies to start getting those clients and start getting that revenue in the door even before you have a website in place. So I find that a lot of us, especially these days, when you start hearing about what you need to do to grow your business and get more clients, we start worrying about all these online strategies that are very much focused on list building, on community building. And again, those are great long term, but in the short term, they might be holding you back. So if you're feeling like you can't really start your business until you have a website, you can't go out there and get clients until you have some magical list size, like 1,000 people on an email list or 10,000 people on an email list. If you feel like you can't really start getting clients until you've done X number of things, and written however many blogs, or whatever the thing is you think you need to do on that checklist, then you're going to want to listen in, because we're going to dive into how you can start getting those clients and cash flow ASAP in your business. Because the honest truth is, those activities are not revenue generating. They're not immediately revenue generating. And if there is no revenue coming in your business, then you don't have a business. So if you're spending all your time on these activities, but there's no revenue being generated, you just have an expensive hobby, like straight talk. You just have an expensive hobby. If you want the business, that means people you're serving and you're generating revenue, then you need to have a plan, a strategy that you can implement very, very, very quickly to get those people in the door. So if you're ready for that, if you're ready to get more clients in your business, we're going to talk about my go-to strategy, one that generates 6 figures a year for my business. It takes very, very little time or effort. It doesn't take having a list. It doesn't take having complicated technology. You don't even need a website. Like literally, this is old school because it's all about high touch and communication and relationships, real relationships. So you ready? Let's dive into this. And as we dive into it, before I forget, I have notes for you. You can type download in the comments below, and you're going to get a guide that has these steps outlined for you in it. So all you have to do is type download in the comments below, and a little magic Facebook bot is going to send the link to you so you can download this guide that's going to walk you through these 5 steps we're going to talk about right now. Okay, so this approach has 5, like I said, 5 core steps we're going to talk about today. The first, step 1, is all about focusing on high value offers. High value offers. And this is so important. You know, I didn't say the way to get new clients in the door is to slash your rates, throw a flash sale on your services, and, you know, just offer something randomly in order to generate a quick buck. That rarely leads to your best clients. In fact, anybody who's saying, hey, you need to make some quick cash flow, just have like a flash sale. Usually the people who are going to buy that are not your ideal clients. They're going to be bargain hunters. And you're going to find yourself right back to where you started very, very quickly. So now you've trained your audience, you've trained the people who know you that you will throw a flash sale when you need revenue. They're going to start waiting for the sale. They're going to start waiting for you to tell them that you're discounting your services before they sign up. If you are a service provider, this is even more deadly because now we've said how low we're willing to go for what we do. So this is a very, very scary place to be. Instead, what I want you to focus on is higher value offerings. And I truly feel like higher value offerings are not only critical to your success as an entrepreneur, as a service provider, but to your client's success. You need to remember your clients are coming to you to achieve a desired result. You know, they have a goal, they have an outcome, they have something they want to achieve, something they want to accomplish, something they want to do, be, have, feel, experience. And they aren't going to get there if you do transformational work or bigger picture work in their life, like helping them really live their best life. Like they're not going to get that in a one-time power hour. They're probably not. Well, how they will get that is if you take them on a journey, if you have a plan to take them from where they are to where they really want to be. And when you are a service provider, that doesn't happen in 30 minutes. That doesn't happen in 60 minutes, okay? So if you're keeping that in mind, the paradigm shifts from how do I just get somebody to buy a session with me to how do I get them to their end result, to their real outcome that they're looking for. So a great example for this is when I was pregnant with my 3rd child, Mitchell, I knew that I wanted to have a VBAC. So any of you moms out there, you know what that means. Not getting into it, but I had a cesarean with my twins. I had to because of some complications that came up, and I really wanted to try to have a VBAC with Mitchell. So I knew that my chances were a lot higher of getting that result that I wanted, having a successful VBAC, if I hired someone to advocate for me, to coach me through it, to educate me, to cheerlead me every step of the way. I needed that person, right? So I invested in a doula. I invested in her offer, which is being a labor coach, and she specialized in VBACs, in vaginal birth after a cesarean section. So I knew that if I wanted that success, I needed to have the right person on my team. And when I hired her, it wasn't just you're just hiring me for this one piece of the puzzle. She knew that having a successful VBAC wasn't just about that one event in this whole experience. It was about the education that had to come before that. It was about the coaching that had to come before that. It was about following up with me and seeing how things were going after I gave birth to Mitchell. So there was a bigger journey that I needed to go on in order to experience that successful VBAC. And when I worked with her, that's what I signed up for, right? Was a successful VBAC. I also invested in higher end offerings from other service providers. I worked with a private yoga teacher. Again, it wasn't about, I just signed up for a private yoga class or a prenatal yoga class that was just a one-off thing. I wanted someone who was going to be on this journey with me, who would really support me, who would help me achieve my end goal, happy, healthy pregnancy, happy, healthy delivery. So these are big goals, big outcomes I was thinking of. And just having a one-time experience with somebody wasn't really going to get me there. They needed to be there for the whole journey, to hold me accountable and to be super supportive. So think about how that applies to your business, okay? Think about how this applies to your business, because your people, your dream clients are on a journey. They're on a journey, and whatever it is you help them with, you need to understand that journey and what that looks like for them. If you're only offering like a one touch point of support on a journey, imagine what would happen if, in Star Wars, Yoda only showed up once for Luke Skywalker. Not much support there. Not really helping him overcome the ups and downs, the challenges, the frustrations, the roadblocks, the bumps along the way, right? So you want to be thinking like Yoda. How are you really going to support people through that journey so they can get to that end result? And once you start thinking this way, it shifts the way you approach how you offer what you offer. Okay, so as we think about this, let's get into some practical elements. I like thinking about offerings in terms of an offering A and an offering B. I usually like to give people, especially if you don't have any other way for people to work with you except for your time, you still want to give them some different options, right? If you give people two options, they're usually going to choose the one that's the best fit, whether it's about what's the best fit for their pocketbook or what's the best fit for the level of support they actually need from you. So whenever I'm creating offerings, I always think in terms of option A, option B. Option A is like the best you can offer. Your super high-end VIP experience where you have just pulled out the red carpet, you're delivering them this incredible experience, you're offering even more support, like tons of access to you, tons of support from you. It is the ultimate VIP experience, right? The other is a more simplified version of that. And that is geared towards someone who wants the same type of outcome, but they maybe don't need as much hands-on. They can do a little bit more of the work themselves, or, it fits within their budget a little bit better. So let's say the example I have here is if you were a yoga teacher who's focused on postpartum moms, you're helping moms to lose the baby weight, and really that what they're coming to you for is to lose the baby weight, but your real goal, what they really need, is to help them with their self-care, with their self-love after this huge life-changing experience, then your option A, your VIP version of this could look like 3 months of weekly sessions where you actually come into her home, help her set up a peaceful area for her at-home yoga practice. Maybe you also create some custom yoga podcasts, like an audio that she can listen to when you're not there so she can continue practicing on her own. Maybe you also create a customized meal plan that's helping her to kind of bring herself back into balance, and you're trying to help her on the holistic spectrum to get back into balance. Maybe you create a custom essential oil blend for her to help her with the biggest challenge she's having. Maybe she's having a hard time sleeping right now, so you make her a custom essential oil blend for that. Maybe she's having a hard time with anxiety right now. You make her an essential oil blend for that. So this is easily a super customized VIP experience, right? You're treating the whole person, you're treating the whole journey. And now, instead of just pricing based on 3 months of one-on-one yoga sessions, you're pricing based on a VIP experience. Suddenly, this is a $1,200 to $1,500 package for that new mom. So option B, what could that look like? So option B, the goal again, it's not just about price. You still want that mom to feel supported. You still want that mom to feel really well taken care of, but it's a little bit scaled back. So how could you do that? Well, maybe instead of weekly sessions with you, she's getting every other week, okay, for 3 months. So instead of 12 sessions, she's getting 6 sessions. There's less time with you. And you could still include a lot of these other elements because, again, we're treating the whole person. We're actually helping them through the long-term journey. So maybe she has every other week with you instead of every week with you. Maybe you are not doing the customized meal planning, but you still are giving her some access to you. You're still giving her some extra little bonuses there. So it's still high value. You're still giving them an amazing experience. You're still actually helping them reach that result they're looking for in their journey. But you're giving them 2 options. And the best part, I think, about having 2 options here is you're really empowering your client, okay? One way you're empowering your client is you're giving them the choice to decide how much support they actually want. And you'll be surprised. A lot of people assume that people are going to default to the lowest price option. And that is not true. A lot of times when you lay it out like this, people will see the value in your time even more because you've very clearly showed them that they're going to get the most of your time, the most of your energy, the most of your support, the most access from you with a VIP experience. It has positioned your time value. And that's huge. And when they see that, now they can say, I understand your time and energy and support is valuable. And I'm going to say yes to the VIP experience, okay? You also empower them to really take stock of what they know they need. Some people are more kind of self-motivated. Some people can do things on their own a little bit better. So if they feel like, hey, I don't need that level, they can really tailor their experience based on their needs. And then the money part of it, the pricing part of it, isn't the first thing they think of, okay? They are more empowered to get what they truly need, and you have helped them really see the value in what you're doing. So what I love about this is when you shift this focus, okay? We're no longer talking about, hey, you can book 12 sessions with me for $500. Now we're talking about an experience. Now we're talking about a journey. Now we're talking about really empowering them. When you deliver at this level, your clients are much more likely to return to you. They're much more likely to return to you because you've helped them get where they want to go. You've helped them create that outcome, that result, that experience that they were really, really looking for. And when you do this, I know so many people who have been yoga teachers or parenting coaches or life coaches, whatever you might do. If you're doing some sort of transformational work, helping people to live their best life, helping people to be healthier and happier, I see so many people who approach their work this way, and suddenly clients aren't just signing up for a one-time package. They have clients who sign up for this experience and they continue to work with them again and again and again. That person who comes in to work with you for those 3 months realizes what an incredible experience you delivered. They say, I need this on a regular basis. And they aren't just working with you for that 3 months. They start working with you for years. This turns into, from a $1,500 one-time investment with you to 3 years of somebody working with you for that long. It's just incredible how you can turn into a huge lifetime value of a single client when you focus this way, when you focus on people who have a bigger goal, a bigger result, a bigger outcome they want, and they're committed to getting the support and the encouragement they really need, okay? So what kind of high value offer are you focused on? What kind of high value offer are you focused on? And here's a big hint. If all that's on your website or the only way you describe how someone can work with you is by the number of sessions they can book in a package, then you're not delivering a high value experience. There's a huge difference there. And I hope you caught it. If you didn't, you'll have to re-listen to this section after we wrap today's show. So the second piece here is leveraging your natural community. Once you know what you're offering, once you know the experience you're really delivering to people, I'm not going to send you off on a mission to try to grow your Facebook following or to run a bunch of ads or to, do any of these other hoops that people think they need to do before they can start making an offer to people. The fastest, easiest way you can get started is going to be leveraging the people who already know, like, and trust you. Okay? So while it is helpful to have a long-term strategy to grow that email list, to get more website traffic, that's great long-term. Like, it will help you in 6 months from now. But today, what is going to help you right now is going to be who knows, likes, and trusts me right now. Who will actually say yes to this or to me or to getting on a call. So if our goal is to get people in the door very, very quickly, we want to talk to people who already know, like, and trust you. And here's what I want you to ask yourself, okay? Who is around you right now who you know you can help? Who needs the kind of help that you can provide? Who's already around you right now? Who's in your neighborhood? Who's at your kid's school? Who's your, college roommate? Who are your former colleagues at work? Who are those people? Ask yourself, who do you already know who is a peer or a mentor or a like-hearted service provider? So someone who can introduce you to the type of people you want to get in touch with. So if I am that yoga teacher I gave an example of who's working with postpartum women in those first 3 months after a baby, who else is connected to them? Well, all the people who helped them in the prenatal section of that journey, their prenatal yoga teachers, their doulas, their midwives, anybody who does maternity photos, I should be connecting with them and seeing if I can offer this ongoing service once they finish that stage of the journey. So who can connect you with who you need to be in front of? And also, who have you already worked with? This is such an opportunity and we miss out on it all the time. We start getting focused on new people in our audience. And the honest truth is it is so much easier to keep an existing client. So do you have clients that you've worked with in maybe the last 6 months, the last year, who you could go back and touch base with? Hey, how's it going? What can I support you with these days? What are your goals? Can we have a catch up? You overlook those things. It's so easy to overlook those things. I do it all the time myself because we get so caught up in the big picture, the long-term strategy, that we sometimes forget that there are people right in front of us who need our help and who we could easily support. So I want you to be thinking about that. It's much easier to enroll a client, to have a client say yes to you if they already know, like, and trust you, if they already feel like they have that relationship with you, or they have a really close relationship to whoever's referring you to them. It's much easier than going out and finding brand new people. So making this even more practical for you, if you are an absolute business beginner, like you're just getting started, you don't have much of a network yet in your field, in your business, you don't have a huge client database or an email list or a lot of traffic, if you are an absolute biz beginner, then your community right now is going to look like your friends, your family, anybody who's expressed an interest in what you do, your former colleagues, any former business contacts that you have, anybody in your world who you would send a Christmas card to, you would invite to your wedding, you would correspond with, like they would want to know what's new and different in your life. Sit down and make a list. Sit down and make a list. They need to know what you're up to these days. Have you announced your business to them? Have you announced your business to them and invited them to learn a little bit more about what you're doing? If anything, just to say like, hey, I just started a new business. That is huge. That's a huge first step. And in fact, that's one of the things that I recommend to people all the time in my trainings is to send out a business announcement to basically anybody you'd send a Christmas card to. Anybody who wants to know if you got married, if you got a new house, if you got a new job, like I launched a new business, they need to know. Okay. You also might want to be connecting with other people who are in your world. So who are offering similar or complementary services. You might be amazed how quickly you can collaborate with those people, how quickly they might be able to send referrals to you, even people who you might initially think of as competition. Like if you're a local photographer, you're doing family photography, and you're just getting started, partner up with other family photographers. You might find that they are really busy and booked out, and they are looking for people to refer to. This happens all the time in creative fields. People get booked out. They need to refer to other people. They need somebody else they can trust to take care of their clients. So be thinking like that. If you've already started your business is going to include all those people. Your community is going to include that natural network, your friends, your family, your colleagues, other people in your world. But I really, really want you to be thinking about connecting with people who serve a similar audience. Okay. Getting in front of other people's audiences is one of the fastest ways to grow your own. It's not to grow one by one by posting on Instagram. It's by getting your colleague to feature you on Instagram, getting your friend to let you write in their newsletter, doing a workshop together. Those are the things that just leapfrog you in front of a lot more people very, very quickly. So what I want you to start thinking about is how can you make a list, like literally old school, pen to paper, pull out the legal pad, make a list of every single person you should be contacting right now. People who you think you can serve, people who you think could introduce you to who you can serve. Make a list. Statistically, the average adult has at least 250 people in their natural network, in their community, that they could reach out to. Even if they're not a perfect client, Aunt Jill's not a perfect client, but she might know somebody who you should be connected to, whether that is a potential client or a potential collaborator or potential referral partner. So make a list. Can you come up with a list of 100 people? This action will really, really help catapult you very, very quickly. So what do you do once you have that list? And I need to take a quick sip of my lemon water because my throat is getting a little itchy. Okay. Now we've got this list. We've got a list of 100 people, 200 people that we want to reach out to, that need to know about what we're doing these days, that need to know about your business and the work that you're up to in the world. Okay. What do we do with them? We reach out individually. We don't mass email. We don't just load everybody up into CC 200 people. That will not get you where you want to go. I promise you. These need to be, you can make a little template for them for your emails, but you still need to customize. You still need to sincerely reach out to people and connect with them on a personal, human level. So I like to do this with what I call the business announcement email. It's something that I teach all the time in my program called Get More Clients. I teach it in Sweet Spot Strategy, but it's a warm email, okay? A warm, more personal email that's all about connecting, getting in touch again, and kind of updating them on what's up for you. Just a warm, personalized email where you're saying, hey, it's been a while. I saw on Facebook that, you and your husband just bought a new house. That's so exciting. I wanted to reconnect and just share a little bit about what I'm up to these days. I just started a brand new business. I'm getting ready to leave my job, but right now I'm in the stage where I'm really talking to a lot of people to make sure I'm on the right track. Are you interested in having a quick conversation with me, or do you know anybody who needs the kind of help I can provide? I would love it if you would check out my site, check out the free ebook that I've just created, or book a consult with me. Pretty simple, right? Like you can send this type of email. And by the way, that's not exactly the business announcement email template, but that's the gist of what it is. You're connecting with people, reconnecting with people. Here's what's up for me. Do you know anybody? Could you help me in this way? Could you introduce me to people? And if this person is you, I would love to support you. The key here is this email is not a pitch. It is not a pitch to say, buy my services, okay? It is an ask to reconnect and to see if they might know somebody. People, especially people in your warm network, in your closest circle, they want to help you. And if you say, do you know anybody who might fit this description? Do you know anybody who also is in this field? Who do you know that I should know? they're going to be pretty receptive to that because everyone wants to help you succeed. And if you're positioning this email as an ask for help, an ask for connections, most people are going to be receptive to that. And you also let them know who you're serving, how you're helping those people, and how they can take that first step. The first step is to book a consult with me. So if you know anybody, please forward them my website or share this video with them, and then I'd love to book a free consult with them. So once you do that, once you start the conversation, again, it's like any other relationship. You have to reconnect, and then you can warm up if they're the right fit. So once you've had a chance to reconnect, once you've connected with them again, hey, this is what's up. Let's reconnect. I want to hear from you. Here's what I'm up to. I'm starting a business. Then you got to get on the phone. Pick up the phone. This is a step that a lot of us don't want to do, including myself. We don't want to have to call everybody. We want people to magically find our site and click a PayPal button, and then business magically works out, right? But that's not how it works. It's just not how it works, especially if you're in the earlier stages of your business. If you need to get those clients in the door, you need to start thinking about, how do I pick up the phone as quickly as possible to start connecting with them? That is going to be the fastest way to convert that person from just being somebody in your community, somebody in your network, into somebody being a client. And I understand it's stressful. It can feel overwhelming. We can feel like we don't know what to say. We can worry about, rejection or somebody judging us. But I promise you, a quick phone call is one of the fastest ways to turn somebody into a new client, to actually get them to saying yes. It's way faster to commit to a week of phone calls with people than trying to pull off a huge launch or create a whole new offering or do any of these bigger long-term, online marketing tactics we hear about all the time. It is much faster to just get on the phone with them. So once you have that list, once you've reached out to those people, you've had some sort of warm connection. Hey, I'd love to reconnect with you. Here's who I'm looking to support. If that's you, let's get on the phone. Or if you know somebody that I need to connect with, I'd love an introduction. Then get on the phone. Get on the phone. Call them. Ask them, what are you challenged by? What are you struggling with? What do you want to achieve? What is your big goal here? What's holding you back? Where are you stuck? Where have you been stumbling? What is the thing that's been keeping you from getting that on your own? Or what have you tried to get there on your own? These types of questions are really, really helpful. And it's all about really helping, them articulate their journey, where they want to be, where they have been getting stuck, what they've tried that has failed. So once you get this information, you, have given them a lot of clarity because they've actually now processed and thought about it. 2, you can offer an insight. You can give them a nugget. You can give them a small win, a little thing that would help them on the right path. Like, hey, I hear that you are really having a hard time figuring out how you're going to adjust, again, using the postnatal yoga teacher. You're having a hard time adjusting to life as a new mom. You're feeling really overwhelmed and stressed out. You're just completely depleted and you are feeling like you need some support. You've tried asking for help, but you need a little bit more. Okay, cool. I can help you with that. Here's how I can support you. I have 2 ways I can support you. 1 is my New Mama VIP. And this is where I actually come in each and every week to take care of you, to support you, to help you get a practice in. So some alone time on the mat. If that means I get to snuggle your sweet baby, I'm all over it. I love doing that. You're going to describe what that VIP is. The other option is this other simpler option, right? So you give people that small win once you understand if you're the right fit to help them along that journey. If you feel like they're the right fit, then you just ask. And then what's next? Not everybody is going to say yes. Not everybody's going to say yes, which is really hard. Those first few no's are hard. But something I want you to keep in mind is no's lead to yeses. Okay? So you need to follow up, rinse, and repeat. If they say yes, if I'm on the phone with that new mom, I'm a private yoga teacher for brand new moms. She's like, yes, I need that. Right now, I just really need to take care of myself and feel supported so I can be the best I can be. Yes, I want to go with the VIP new mama offer. That sounds perfect. That's exactly what I want. Then the first thing I do is book my time in the calendar, send them the invoice, send them the welcome email with whatever the welcome package is for them. So letting them know what the first steps are, what to expect, how to get ready for your time together. Even better, I drop a little thank you note in the mail, maybe even a little customized present, starting with the exceptional experience right off the bat. Okay? If it's a maybe, if that person came to me, that new mom, for this example, came to me and said, oh, I really, really want to do this, and I have to double check because it's a big commitment for us to say yes to this. Can I have, a couple days to talk with my husband about it, or whatever they tell you? Cool, no worries. I absolutely want to make sure that you feel 100% supported, not only by me, but by your partner. So here's what I'd love to do. I'd love to pencil you in my calendar for that first session, and that way I can go ahead and get everything prepped and ready for you. Okay, so let's pick a date, pencil it in, and I'll follow up with you in a day or two to make sure we're ready to get started. Cool, right? So you kind of operate as if, you're going to get the yes. You're going to go ahead and get in the calendar. No big deal. I absolutely want you to talk to your partner. Cool. You send that follow-up email, you touch base again, and essential here is you give them a deadline. Cool, why don't you take a couple days to think about it? It's Thursday now, so I'll touch base with you Monday morning. Okay, you have to give them the deadline. The deadline is really important, or let them know when you'll call back or you'll touch base again to confirm getting started. Now, if it's a no, and I almost feel like we have to go into a little coaching around hearing the no, because the no is hard, but I don't want you to take it personally, okay? Like I said at the beginning of this section, it will take a few no's to get to a yes. It's not about you. It is not a big deal. I want you to still treat them as a relationship and still do relationship building things. Follow up with a thank you note. Hey, it was so great to chat with you today. I really, would love to support you in achieving this goal. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to let me know. And I'd love to touch base in a couple months to see if you feel like you might be needing support at that time. Like, send them a thank you note. Thank you for your time. Thank you for talking with me. I really enjoyed talking with you. I really would love to support you. Do you know anybody else who would benefit from a quick conversation like this? Like, if you've had a meaningful, helpful conversation, even if you only gave them that one little nugget of advice, that one small win, which is all you really need in a phone call like this, is one little win. Ask them, do you know anybody else who this sounds like a perfect fit for, who would benefit from a quick call just to get that clarity and at least one little baby step to get them going in the right direction? If so, I would love to have an email introduction from them. So it's okay to ask for referrals, even from people who gave you a no. They might not quite be ready, but they might know somebody who is. So just pick up the phone, call again. Again, we've got our list of 100 people. You've touched base with them. You've connected with them. Got to keep reaching out. Got to keep calling them. Got to keep following up. You need to follow up with everyone. Make your way down that list until you started to fill those spots, until you filled the spots. Just follow up. And just because something isn't the right time or this isn't the exact right offer for them, it doesn't mean they won't be ready in a few months, okay? I always move, anybody who's been on a phone call with me, they move from like my warm community list to my hot community list. They're the first ones I'm going to touch base with if in 3 months or 6 months or a year, I need to fill my client docket again, and I'm keeping notes on them. If she said no to me right now, for whatever reason, no big deal. I take a note, I send a thank you. In 6 months when the spot's open, hey, so-and-so, I was thinking about you and wanted to check in and see how you're doing. Last time we talked, you were working on XYZ. Is that still a priority for you? If so, I would love to support you if you're ready for that level of support at this time. I'm currently getting ready to announce a spot opening, but I wanted to give you first dibs because we'd already had the conversation and I really would love to support you. That's such an easy thing to do. It's just a matter of keeping track, following up with people, knowing to keep following up when they're ready. So this is a high-touch strategy. This is a high-touch strategy. Everything we talked about, again, if you want the download, the little cheat sheet for how to follow this strategy, type download, and you'll get the Facebook bot will send you a little note for you to download this, and it'll give you all of these 5 steps. This is a high touch strategy, and it's high touch and it works. This is the basics of building a relationship-based business. And I have heard before, I think it was from Todd Herman, he said, business is built at the speed of relationships. And that really hit home for me because I have always focused on building a relationship-centered business, one that's built around knowing people and knowing their names and knowing what they're up to and knowing what they care about, not focused on just the numbers of people, right? So this strategy might feel a little bit vulnerable, but I promise you, when you take this relationship-centered approach, when you take this high-touch approach, this is what will get momentum in your business very, very quickly. This is how you can start filling that client docket, get comfortable with really putting yourself out there, with having these types of conversations, and feeling like you have control over your business. So I would love to hear from you guys. If anybody has tried a strategy like this, if anybody has gone out there and actually made a goal to, get on the phone with 10 people or 20 people so that you can fill your client docket, I want to hear from you. Have you done this? And how did it work out for you? This is a strategy that takes a little putting yourself out there. It can feel a little vulnerable, but the results are so worth it. And the best part for me is when you do something like this and you start getting out there, you start doing these types of things, you start talking to people about what you do, and you start really seeing that light bulb moment for them when they're like, I get it. I know what I need to do next. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And then you start getting the love notes from people saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I needed to get that outcome I was looking for. Then your business really starts to change. Those people you are talking to now, even the people who maybe didn't say yes the first time, they become your raving fans. They become the first 100 and then the first 1,000 people who really support you in your business, who start helping you get that momentum. So it's high touch, it's relationship centered, but it makes a huge, huge difference. If you want more on this topic, if you want to dive even deeper, I have a master class that you can go check out. I will pop the URL in the comments below, but you can find it on the homepage at rachealcook.com. It's called How to Get More Clients and Fill Your Calendar Stat. And I'm going to dive even deeper in this master class through this process that we talked about, filling in some of the gaps around the systems and how to get yourself really set up for success, and exactly how I teach my students to do a relationship-based high-touch strategy to fill that client docket in as little as 2 weeks. So I'd love to see you there. Again, go to rachealcook.com. You'll see the link on the homepage. I'll pop the link in as soon as I wrap up today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I can't wait to connect with you next week for Uncomplicate Your Business, because again, it's Get More Clients March. There's even more where this came from, and I can't wait to share with you some of the next pieces of content I've been prepping for you. So much love, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.